Man is not poor because he lacks money. He is poor because he has not aligned with the law. There is a divine law for every need, and when rightly applied, it produces abundance without toil. The trouble with most people is that they seek outer results without correcting the inner cause, but no amount of effort can override the law of mental equivalence. Man's idea of success is often built upon tireless effort, long hours, and relentless pushing. But the spiritual man understands that true riches do not come from sweat alone. They come from alignment with the invisible but ever-working divine law. Labor without spiritual consciousness often leads to struggle and delay, while calm and fearless faith in God's law brings about results that defy logic. Most of the world runs on the belief that only the strong survive, that only the busiest thrive. But in truth, those who understand and align with the laws of God are the ones who truly prosper. When a person says, "I must work harder to make more," they are placing the burden of supply upon human effort. This is a mistake. For every person, there is a divine blueprint of perfect success. This blueprint does not require force. It requires faith, vision, and obedience to spiritual principles. The rich man, truly rich in the spirit, may not toil at all in the way others understand work. He moves by inspiration, not desperation. He listens for guidance from within and acts when the word is given. In this way, he accomplishes more in less time, and without strain. There is a false idea that money must be earned through pain, sacrifice, and grind. This belief is deeply rooted in the consciousness of limitation and fear, but the law knows no limitation. It only reflects what man expects and accepts as truth. If you believe you must suffer for money, then you shall. But if you know that riches are your divine inheritance, and that they come through perfect channels prepared for you, then the way will be made easy. Doors will open. The right people will appear, and what you need will come to you effortlessly. People are often proud of how much they hustle, how little they rest, and how much they sacrifice. But this pride in effort is often a veil covering deep-seated fear and unbelief. It is the fear that if they stop pushing, everything will fall apart. But God's law is never in chaos. It is always working for those who align with it. In the stillness, the real work is done. In the silence, the idea is planted. And when that idea is right, the law begins its perfect unfoldment. You do not need to fight for what is already yours by right of consciousness. Faith is the true currency of the spiritual realm. It is not toil that moves mountains. It is belief. When you believe that divine substance is always present, always flowing, and always seeking expression through you, then the old idea of lack dissolves. You realize you were never meant to live by the sweat of your brow, but by the power of your word and the clarity of your vision. You were designed to live by divine arrangement, not human struggle. The man who understands this law stops chasing money and begins cultivating consciousness. He tends to his thoughts like a wise gardener, removing weeds of fear, planting seeds of gratitude, and watering them with unwavering faith. And then he watches as the harvest comes, not because he forced it, but because the law is certain. He does not depend on outer conditions to determine his wealth. He knows that the outer world is simply a mirror of his inner belief. There is no virtue in suffering to earn money. There is no holiness in lack. Poverty is not spiritual. It is simply a misunderstanding of the law. When man works in harmony with spiritual principles, his labor becomes joyful, his burden light, and his results multiplied. Riches do not belong only to the educated, the connected, or the tireless. They belong to those who claim them in spirit and stand firm in faith, unmoved by appearances. The great spiritual mistake is believing that desires alone are enough to bring results. People cry out, "I want more money. I want success. I want a better life." Yet they remain bound by fear, doubt, and inner conflict. Desire is not the attracting force. Identity is. You do not attract what you wish for, you attract what you truly are in consciousness. The law does not respond to longing. It responds to belief. The subconscious mind cannot be deceived by empty affirmations or surface-level enthusiasm. It reacts only to the deep truth you hold about yourself. A person may speak words of wealth all day long, but if deep within they see themselves as unworthy, lacking, or always struggling, then that inner image will override every affirmation. That is why many people say, "I've tried to manifest, but nothing happens." It is not because the law is broken, but because their inner vibration still speaks the language of fear, lack, or desperation. The outer world is a reflection of the inner state. Change the inner identity, and the outer world must follow. The one who succeeds spiritually is the one who begins to embody wealth in thought, feeling, and manner. Before the money appears, he walks as one who is already supplied. He gives thanks not for what he sees, but for what he knows is coming. His thoughts are not anxious, they are calm, ordered, and rich. He does not beg for blessings, he claims them. For he understands that the world does not give him abundance. It only reflects the abundance already within. Most people are double-minded. They speak of riches, but they prepare for lack. They declare that God is their source, but they watch the news and panic over the economy. They ask for overflow but expect just enough to get by. This contradiction neutralizes the law. The spiritual realm is exact and does not function on confusion. When the inner and outer words agree, when thought, feeling, and speech align, then manifestation becomes inevitable. It is not magic, it is the law. The law of attraction is not about craving things, it is about becoming a match to them. If you desire wealth, then become wealth in consciousness. Think wealthy thoughts, speak with confidence, move with purpose, and carry the vibration of one who knows that divine supply is already his. Do not wait for the money to believe you are rich. Believe you are rich, and the money will appear. The law works from within out, not the other way around. Fear is a powerful repellent. A person who desires money but fears its absence sets up a tug of war in the soul. This fear speaks louder than the desire, and the law, being impersonal and precise, must follow the dominant feeling. That is why many people push prosperity away without realizing it. They pray for increase while feeling small. They visualize wealth while worrying about bills. But spirit sees not the picture. It reads the vibration. You must become single-minded. Declare what you desire and hold to it. Refuse to be swayed by appearances. The scene is only a snapshot of your old thinking. What is coming is determined by your present belief. If you walk in lack today, but hold the inner vision of wealth, the outer must adjust in time. But if you walk in outer wealth while fearing loss, then decline will surely follow. The law is faithful to the truth you live inwardly. The key is identity. Do not say, "I want to be rich." Say, "I am rich in divine substance." Feel it, know it, walk in it. The moment you become in consciousness the thing you desire, the law begins to draw the physical equivalent to you, not by effort, but by the certainty of spiritual alignment. The word is man's wand of power. With it, he builds or destroys, draws in or drives away. Every spoken word is a seed, and every seed produces after its kind. When man speaks with authority and faith, he sets divine substance into motion. There is no power in idle talk, but there is tremendous power in the spoken word charged with spiritual conviction. Most people speak carelessly, unaware that their words are shaping their world. They speak of debt, delay, fear, and struggle, and then wonder why their lives reflect those very things. The law is always listening. It is always ready to respond. When a person speaks lack, the law says, "So be it." When he speaks abundance, the law says again, "So be it." The law does not reason or question. It simply acts. It is impersonal, precise, and unfailing. The spiritual student learns early that what he declares consistently becomes his experience. He no longer wastes words on doubt. complaint, or negativity, for he knows that every word is a decree that must be fulfilled. There is a vibratory force in every word. Words of faith and expectation carry the tone of prosperity. Words of worry and fear carry the vibration of delay and limitation. It is not enough to think good thoughts. You must speak them. Thought is power, but speech is action. When you speak, you move energy into the realm of form. The invisible begins to take shape. What was once only an idea becomes a reality when the word gives it life. Many people ask for more, but cancel their own prayers with their daily speech. They say, "I never have enough. Money slips through my fingers. I can't catch a break." And so the law, obedient as always, brings more of the same. These are not harmless expressions. They are commands. They are instructions to the subconscious mind, which records and acts upon every impression. One cannot speak defeat and expect victory. One cannot declare struggle and expect ease. To use the spoken word rightly is to become a master of manifestation. When man learns to guard his tongue, he begins to guard his destiny. He speaks only that which he wishes to see unfold. He blesses his finances even when they appear small. He gives thanks aloud for things not yet seen. He names what he desires and speaks of it as already his. This is not denial of facts. It is affirmation of truth. The spiritual man does not lie to himself. He speaks the higher reality into being. The most powerful words are often the simplest. I am provided for. I walk in divine abundance. Every bill is paid in perfect timing. These are not empty phrases. They are spiritual tools. When spoken with belief, they activate the law. They imprint upon the subconscious. They open doors. The supply was always there waiting. The word simply called it forth. You do not need to plead with the universe. You need only to speak, as one who knows that the provision is already made. Words spoken in fear and desperation carry no creative power. They are charged with confusion, and confusion produces chaotic results. But words spoken in stillness, with faith and clarity, call forth order and substance. The spiritual man does not chase money. He speaks it into form. He does not fight for his good. He names it, claims it, and gives thanks for its appearance. The word is his tool, his servant, his magic wand. Speech must align with the vision. If you desire wealth, your words must match wealth. Speak not of limitation. Speak not of how things appear. Speak only of the truth you wish to live. The moment your word becomes unwavering, the universe begins its silent, perfect work. Most people unknowingly block their own prosperity by the very words they speak and the emotions they release. They bless their fears, nurture their worries, and magnify their limitations. Then, in the same breath, they curse their blessings by speaking ill of money, doubting their supply, or criticizing the very channels through which good might come. This misuse of spiritual energy causes financial delay, disorder, and decline. Yet all along, the law is perfect, waiting patiently for right use. The act of blessing is a spiritual magnet. When you bless your money, no matter how small it may seem, you call forth more. You say, "This money is divine substance. It multiplies under grace." That spoken blessing increases the vibration of the money in your possession. It may be one coin or a single note, but when you see it as a seed of infinite supply, it begins to grow. Gratitude and blessing fertilize the soil of consciousness. The more you bless, the more you are blessed. The more you curse, the more you are cursed. Not by God, but by your own word. People often complain about the high cost of living, about taxes, about delays in payments, and all the while they are setting up resistance to increase. The law hears, and it obeys. Complaint is a negative decree. It sends out a signal that you are in lack, and so more lack returns. The one who understands spiritual law blesses everything connected with money. He blesses his wallet, his bills, his debts, his business. He even blesses the bills that arrive in the mail, saying, "You are evidence of divine activity, and you are paid in full by divine substance." A blessing transforms the atmosphere. What was once seen as a burden becomes a tool for increase. The one who blesses what he has sees more come. The one who despises what he has loses even that. There is no mystery to it. It is law. You cannot entertain resentment and expect expansion. You cannot criticize wealth and expect to receive it. You cannot envy the rich and expect to prosper. Cursing, in the spiritual sense, does not mean using crude language. It means speaking words of limitation, fear, doubt, or negativity. When someone says, "I'll never get ahead," "I can't afford it," "Money is hard to come by," they are placing a curse upon their own flow. They are rejecting the very abundance they desire. But when they reverse those words, "Everything I need comes easily," "I always have more than enough," money comes in expected and unexpected ways. They break the old pattern and create a new rhythm of supply. Even more powerful than the words you speak are the feelings you hold while you speak them. To say, "I am rich," while feeling poor creates confusion in the subconscious. But to say it with conviction, with expectancy, with joy, that sets the law in motion. The feeling is the fuel behind the word. To bless your finances with joy is to send out a wave that brings increase from unseen directions. Money is not your enemy. It is energy. It responds to how you treat it, think of it, and speak of it. Treat it with reverence. Speak of it with love. Think of it with gratitude. Then you will find it flowing to you, through you, and for you, in ways beyond calculation. What you bless blesses you. What you criticize withholds from you. This is not punishment. It is reflection. The outer world reflects your inner conversation. If you desire more, speak as one who has more. Bless what you see, even if it is not yet what you desire. The blessing is the bridge between your current condition and your divine inheritance.